Hey, so I've got my tongues and I'm getting ready to prepare those. So what I'm going to do to start with is rinse off all the tongues and the feet. So these feet are pretty much clean. There's not a lot of additional preparation that needs to happen. So generally I'll just rinse those under fresh water, make sure all the sand's off, and then put them in a clean bowl. The tongues, however, are a different story. So here's one of the tongues, and I want to show you how I'm going to fillet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the tongue, and then I'm going to cut off this top end, because this first inch is where a lot of the toxins in the clam accumulate, so you don't want to eat that. And then I'm going to take the skin off of the top of it, and all that'll be left is muscle. So let's see here. Just fillet it down, and open it up. So there you can see the red meat on the inside. That's where the toxins accumulate. So you want to cut off that part and throw it away. There's two chambers in the tongue, so you gotta fillet them both in order to get it to open up. And then you can lay it down like that, and then just grab the edge of the skin and work your knife under it. It's really easy to cut through it, and you just want to fillet it like that. Usually once you get it started, you can just peel it back. Sometimes it's even easier to cut the tongue in half, lengthwise like this, and just work one end at a time. That's definitely a preference thing. And you want to use a sharp knife, but you want to be careful not to cut yourself. So there I've got a good start. I got a little too much meat on that side of the skin. Yeah, you know, it's a thing. You can rip the skin off, but then you're going to take half the meat with it. So it's really a fillet thing. So once I get this filleted, once I get all my tongues filleted, I'm going to take those feet and the tongue meat, and I'm going to sandwich it in between two pieces of waxed paper, and then I'm going to beat it with a hammer and tenderize the meat. If you were to cook the meat just like this, it would be extremely tough, and you'd be chewing for a long time. But once you get the skin off, then you can tenderize the meat, and then I'll fry it in some oil, and it's really good. And that's why this is called like a poor man's gooey duck, because it tastes very similar to gooey duck, except they're much easier to get, much more prevalent in the Puget Sound. So there you can see there's the skin, and you can see the meat starting to come out. So you just do that. You just work your knife under the skin. I'm a little out of practice, so it's taking me a little longer than normal. But once you kind of get a routine going, it's pretty fast. It's just like filleting any kind of fish or anything. So yeah, so that's what that looks like. And then they'll be ready to tenderize and fry. So I'll show you that in a minute.